Morning. Happy Thursday morning. Tasha's checking in with another video, and this is going to be a special edition of Tasha's Topics. Okay, if it's your first time joining me, go ahead and like this video, comment in the comment section, and most importantly, subscribe to the Redefine Me channel. Okay, because we have a great time over here. Okay, I hope you all are having a happy and blessed Thursday morning. I know you all are not used to seeing me in the good old AM. However, I wanted to come on and do my hot topics because I have a prior engagement later on this evening. So I want to get it out of the way with y'all. And yeah, I work overnight, and so I'm trying to get this out of the way so that I can go to sleep, child. Okay. But let's get into some of these topics. It's been some things going on that we're going to talk about, and I want you all to weigh in on those things as well. I'm going to give you all my thoughts and opinions on the matter as well. Okay, so let's get into it. Onijah, I think that's how you say her name, Onijah. If I'm saying it wrong, child, forgive me. Robinson is back, y'all. Okay. Now, if y'all know who Onijah Robinson is, she is the woman that went over to Pakistan. Now let's back up. Here's the story. Okay. First of all, they're calling her the Queen of Pakistan. Okay. That's number one. Why do you ask? Here is the story. Okay. She fell in love with a 19-year-old Pakistani guy. Man, and his name is Nigel Amin. And so what it is that they met online. Well, actually, he was a telemarketer, and he called her, and they ended up striking up a conversation. He was supposed to be working, but then it turned into romance or something else. Okay. So she ended up going to Pakistan to meet up with him. But had posed as a white woman, right? But when she got over there, of course, she's black. And so I don't think that went over well with his family. However, he still said that he loved Onijah, and so he wanted to continue to be in a relationship with her, okay? So after she was in Pakistan, she turned into some type of celebrity sensation, right? She's over there demanding money. She's over there demanding land. They buying her McDonald's meals. All type of stuff is going down, okay? While she's over there, she was staying in a hotel and chilling, right? Not with the Nigel guy that supposedly she's supposed to be in a relationship with, okay? And so then after she left Pakistan, right, she went to Dubai. And after she went to Dubai, she disappeared for a little while. And everybody was like, what happened to Onijah? Where is she at? So y'all, she is back, okay? When she was in Dubai, she was taken by authorities, okay, and then she has resurfaced. Now that she has resurfaced, child, she got a new weave in her hair, okay, because y'all know when she was taken the first time, she had the little headband on, she had the messed up makeup that looked real like light colored, okay, and she had that horrible lipstick on and everything. Now that she's back, she got a whole weave in her head, okay, and she got some new clothes and stuff, all right, and so she is claiming now that she's back that she is married to the Pakistan man, right? 19 years old. Now, I don't know how old she is. Y'all let me know in the comments if y'all do. She claims they are married, okay? They've been dating for 2.5 years. She says they've been dating for 2.5 years. And after she became famous, the Pakistani man, Nigel, was not, his family wasn't having it, okay? But he said in spite of that, he still loves her. But this is giving me pause with Nigel, right? Because I just don't understand how he did not be with her while she was in Pakistan, right? Hello, everybody coming in the room. Make sure you're liking up the video. I don't understand how he didn't be with her in Pakistan. I'm guessing because his family had disapproved so much of her that he was just like, he's just going to stay at his parents' house and let her stay at a hotel type situation. However, you have to remember that he's 19 years old, okay? She stayed in that hotel in Pakistan for like 3 months. And then that's when he had took her to the airport one day, right? When she got to the airport, he thinking she getting on the plane to go back to New York. She ended up not going back to New York, child. She turned around, got off the plane, turned around and stayed in Pakistan for 3 months at a hotel and became some type of celebrity over there. But when she went to Dubai, they was like, we not having it. And she disappeared for a little bit and got detained by authorities. Okay, she has now become some type of celebrity, and it's crazy to me how people become celebrities over the dumbest stuff in the world, right? So now she has an agent. They're working on giving her movies, all type of other stuff Onaja Robinson is about to get into. And I'm just amazed at it, okay? Her fiance, because they asked him, are they married? Okay, he did an interview with the Shade Room, and they asked him, are y'all married? And he said, I mean, you gotta ask her. And I was like, nah, but he asking you. So he said that they are actually not married, but she thinks that in her mind, right? Why does she think that? Because her fiance confirmed that she is bipolar, that she has bipolar disorder, and he likes her and loves her because she lives in confidence. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I believe he is with Onaja because she has become this celebrity sensation, and now he's trying to ride this wave and see what happens. Now, if they play their cards right, they could very well walk themselves into a reality show. I believe it could happen. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this story. It is a wild, crazy story. The first time I heard about it was on TikTok from a Pakistan man that was reviewing the story and telling us about it. It was quite interesting, and it gravitated to me and got a bunch of other people's attention, right? So that's the story number one. Let's move on to the next Tasha's topic, okay? Yesterday was the 4th anniversary of DMX passing. Okay, so y'all know DMX was a rapper and an actor, and unfortunately he passed. He battled a lot throughout his career with drugs and other different things of that nature, right? And so he did pass 4 years ago on yesterday. Okay, so I'm hoping that he is resting in peace. Okay, next story, y'all, is about Volodymyr Zelensky. Okay, let's talk about Zelensky. All right. So right now, Zelensky, if y'all don't know, he is the president or whatever they call it of Ukraine. Okay, y'all know he was in the news not too long ago. He was having an interview with Donald Trump, and the interview didn't go over well or nothing because both of their personalities started flying, right? Okay, so now fast forward. Zelensky caught 2 Chinese men, right? 2 Chinese men fighting alongside Russia. So you know they're in this war right now because Russia is trying to overthrow Ukraine, kind of trying to like take over Ukraine, so to speak. That's what I'm gathering from it. Y'all let me know if I'm on the right track or if I'm wrong, right? So they are kind of going back and forth, having this war, having this fisticuffs, and not coming to an agreement of peace, right? So the other day, he caught 2 Chinese men fighting along Russia, okay? Now, not only is the Chinese helping out Russia, right? Russia is also being backed by the military support of Iran and North Korea. Now, I don't want to tell nobody what to do, but Zelensky, if you ever come across my post, come in close, sir. What I think you need to do is cut your losses and go about your business and work out some type of arrangement with Russia. Because as of right now, Russia is being backed by not only the Chinese military, but also Iran and also North Korea. So it's not a good look, Zelensky. Sometimes you got to humble yourself. Sometimes it takes a bigger leader to humble themselves for the good of the people, right? But the vibes that I'm getting from Zelensky, it does not seem like he's going to do that. So y'all, buckle up, hold on tight, because we don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of months pertaining to the world. In other countries, they are having wars, they are having issues, they're trying to come to peace agreements and arrangements and things like that, and it does not seem to be going well. So I implore you all, buckle up, because it's going to be a rocky year of 2025, and I believe this is just the beginning of things to come. Okay, so stay prayed up, stay in your faith. I don't know what's going to happen, but at the end of the day, I trust God, so I ain't worried about it. Moving on to the next topic. The roof collapse. Okay, I don't know if y'all heard about this. At a nightclub in Dominican Republic. Now the death toll is up to 66 people. Okay, so this was a really sad incident. This happened last week sometime in Dominican Republic, a nightclub roof collapse. Just wild. I mean, sometimes when some things like that happen, you're wondering to yourself, How does a whole roof just collapse? Now, I need to know further details on how it is that happened. They haven't came out with any further details of how exactly the roof went in. All they did was come out with the death toll, and it's at 66 right now. Okay, so praying for those families that lost loved ones, and also for anyone else that was affected because of that situation. Moving on to the next story, y'all. Robbie, what is it? Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, Mike. Belle Biv DeVoe, okay? Belle Biv DeVoe, BBD. If y'all don't know who they are, they were a group that was out in the 90s, okay? That was like an R&B kind of hip hop group, right? Okay, so Ricky Bell was one of the members. Ricky Bell and his wife Amy are expecting their first child. Yay! Congratulations to Ricky Bell and his wife Amy. Now, I was thinking to myself, and I meant to look this up, but I didn't. And y'all let me know if y'all know the answer. But how old is Ricky Bell? I'm thinking at this point he has to be in like his late 50s. However, men can have babies until they like 70 or 80. Okay, ask Al Pacino. Or ask what's the other guy that had a baby? The other dude. Both old and had a baby in their later years. Okay, so congratulations to them. I hope they have a healthy baby and that everything works out for them. Next topic. All right. President Trump extends TikTok for another 75 days as his staff works on a deal to, buy TikTok or keep TikTok afloat on the U.S. front. I'm really kind of getting annoyed. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, at this point, I'm like, look, make a decision. Who do y'all want to buy it? I mean, why didn't freaking, what's his name? Elon Musk buy it since he had his hands trying to be in everything, you know? But I'm sick of this. Will somebody please buy TikTok? Now, if I had enough money, I would put my hat in the ring and buy TikTok. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, they keep on extending it here, extending it here, extending it there. So we don't know what's happening with the U.S. front of TikTok. However, President Trump said he's working on it with his staff to settle the situation. It seems like the TikTok buy is at the bottom of the totem pole of issues that he has to worry about. However, he's saying he's working on it. Okay, so all of y'all with businesses and things like that on TikTok and have a good platform, you know, you might want to do this. You might want to also tell your followers where else you can be found. Okay, drop your YouTube channel, drop your Facebook, drop your Instagram, drop a lot of other things, because we don't know if TikTok's going to be here one day and gone tomorrow based off of what they're doing. Okay. Let's get into the next topic, shall we? Yes, we shall. Russell Brand. Okay, y'all know Russell Brand. He is from London. I believe he's from London. He is an actor. I always found him really weird, but interesting at the same time, like funny type guy, okay? So Russell Brand has been charged, y'all. Now, 2025, in my opinion, is the year of exposure. It seems to be that pastors are getting exposed, celebrities are getting exposed, everybody's getting exposed this year, okay? It seems to be that way, right? So Russell Brand has been charged with multiple SA charges dating back to 1999. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but at this point, I don't put it past any celebrity to have done some stuff. Russell Brand, of course, came out denying the allegations. Of course, he's not going to admit to SA-ing somebody back in 99, right? However, that's what the chitter chatter is on the streets. Okay, so Russell Brand, I don't know, sir. Lawyer up, get your ducks in a row, because it seems like you are next on the chopping block of celebrities to have been funning and gunning back in the day, and now the hens are coming to roost. Okay, moving on to the next story. The stabbing in Texas. The two 17-year-old boys. All right, now, if y'all don't know the story, here it is. Okay. Last week, April 2nd? Yes, April 2nd, there was a track and field meet in Texas, okay? In Frisco, Texas, all right? So there is a Caucasian young man who went to Memorial High School, and there is an African-American boy named Carmelo Anthony that went to a different high school, okay? So the story goes that Carmelo Anthony, it was raining outside, I believe. They said the storms came down in Texas and it was raining. So Carmelo Anthony decided that he was going to go under Memorial High School's tent to get out of the rain. Now, we don't know if that's true. This is just a story I'm telling y'all, okay? So he goes under the tent where the Caucasian boy is at. And his name is Arthur Metcalf. No, Austin Metcalf, okay? So when Austin sees Carmelo, he tells him, hey, you're not supposed to be under here. This is our school's tent, all right? So Carmelo says, if you touch me, you're going to find out what happens, or something to that effect, right? So Metcalf, which is the Caucasian young man, pushed Carmelo, okay, which is the African-American boy. Now, when he pushed him, Carmelo had a bag with him. He reached into his bag. He pulled out a black knife and he stabbed him in the chest, okay? Stabbed him in the chest. Now, he began to fall down the bleachers into his twin brother's arms, okay? Caucasian young man Metcalf had a twin brother. Now, he's bleeding out. After Carmelo stabbed him, Carmelo took off running and discarded the knife. When authorities found Carmelo, he threw up his hands and he said it was self-defense. He put his hands on me, okay? After he cried it was self-defense, he put his hands on me, okay? The police then shortly after came and put him in handcuffs. The police got on the radio, says we had the alleged suspect. Carmelo said, I am not alleged, I did it. So he confessed at the scene of the crime. Then he goes further to ask police if Metcalf is okay. Not only did he ask, is it okay? He said, would this be considered self-defense? Okay, so that is the skinny of the whole story. So this is what I wanted to talk about and telling y'all, keeping y'all up to date on the story. Please go ahead and smash that like button and go ahead and subscribe to the Redefine Me channel if you're liking the story so far of the topics that I'm bringing y'all today. All right, so fundraiser for Carmelo Anthony has reached $300K. $300,000. People have been donating to the young man who killed the other young man on this app called Give, Send, Go. Okay, they've been donating on Give, Send, Go. And now they're up to $300,000. Their goal is to reach $350,000 in order to support the young man who killed the other boy and his family. What do y'all think about that? I don't agree with it. I do not agree with this fund being set up for this young man. Now, let me tell you why. First of all, his family is living in Frisco, Texas. I did my research on Frisco, Texas. Frisco is where the affluent, wealthy people live at right now. I'm not saying that there are not some people that may have some income challenges that live in that area. However, it is known to be an affluent area. So he didn't really need to have this account set up for him. That's number one. In my opinion, this is everything I'm saying is my opinion. Number two, you committed a crime and people decided to not get behind the family and offer love and support to them that lost their child. They decide to defend the young man who actually killed the other young man. That is a problem, in my opinion. A lot of the African-American community is crying out that it is self-defense. Now, the police has charged Carmelo with first-degree murder. They have also set his bond at $1 million. So the issue with people is that they're charging him too strictly. The issue with it is that they feel that, what's up, Janae? Welcome to the live. Welcome, welcome. The issue with this situation is that a lot of the Black community feel that they are charging Carmelo too strictly. So this is why they decided to start a fund to raise money for him, okay? Now, I have so many questions about this story. I did a video on my channel about it as well. I have so many questions. Now that I have sat back and digested the story, I still feel the same way about my first response to it. However, we got to teach our children how to have proper conflict resolution, right? Two things could have happened. Metcalf the young man that got killed could have still been alive. If he would have, when he asked Carmelo to leave, if he would have said, okay, you don't want to leave, if he said, touch me and mess around and find out, okay, he could have went and found a track coach, a teacher, or somebody else. Or he could have went on the other side of the tent of the bleachers and not even talked to him anymore, right? He would have still been alive because the altercation would have never happened, right? Now, other side of that, if Carmelo would have not been under the tent, and if he definitely wouldn't have not brought a knife to a track meet, none of this would have happened. Now, if he never brought the knife, even if Metcalf pushed him, they would have had to do what? Start fighting, right? I miss the good old days when kids used to settle disputes with their fists. Now, I would feel differently about my views on this story if they were fighting and the fight ended up leading to, unfortunately, his death. Then I would have said, well, they were fighting and unfortunately an accident happened that he did not intend to happen. Because when you're fighting, you don't know what blow you're going to do that's going to cause an issue, right? So I would have felt differently. However, in this particular situation, my stance is the same. I do not understand why this fund was created for this young man, especially when his family lived in a very affluent, or they live in a very affluent neighborhood, meaning that they could afford to get him a lawyer, meaning that they probably had a family lawyer already, that they had some stuff going for them already. He's not the victim. At the end of the day, I do feel sorry, though, for Carmelo, because in the blink of an eye, he made a decision that was a horrible decision that changed the trajectory of his life forever. However, this other family, at least Carmelo has an opportunity to fight the system to get out of jail and possibly live a somewhat mediocre life. But Metcalf, he's gone from this earth. His family will never lay eyes on him again. His family will never see him again. He does not have the opportunity to live a life, right? Because his life is over and it was taken by Carmelo. So, with all that being said, the update on their story is just that when I first heard about the fund, and this was a couple of days ago, it was $150,000. Now the fund has reached $300,000 and they're on their way to $350,000. And when I did a TikTok on my TikTok channel, and I got a lot of flack on it because a lot of people felt the way, but I was just like, this is unreal. Why are y'all raising money for the boy that committed such a horrible crime? And it's not even so much about the money for me. It was really about the fact that a lot of the Black community had no empathy or sympathy for this family that lost their child. At the end of the day, now they're trying to paint a picture that Metcalf, the Caucasian boy, was bullying the other boy, right? And he very well could have been bullying the other boy. However, if the other boy wasn't under the tent where he wasn't supposed to be, if the other boy didn't have a knife, if the other boy just was not there, we would not have a thing to bully, okay? And so I just was really annoyed on my TikTok. I did one, and I was just like, it is a shame how my own people get behind some of the craziest things. And then they're up here saying, well, he warned him, he told him not to touch him, this and that, and all this other stuff. He was bullying him. He felt surrounded, and all this other things that they have come out with. And I'm just kind of like, but the other family's child is gone. Like, I just don't understand that. And if the men was the only ones shouting this, I would be like, okay, men can't understand because they do not have the luxury of carrying a child, right? But when women are coming out making videos about they are in support of Carmelo Anthony, the boy that killed the other boy, right? It's like, as a mother, how could you feel like that? Imagine if that was your child that was stabbed in the chest and now is no longer on this earth, right? Over something so senseless that didn't even need to happen. And not only that, imagine if your child is now gone from the earth and your own and another community of people that is the same race as the killer starts to donate money on behalf of the killer. Can you even imagine for a moment how this family feels? I would be horrified. Not only because I have to deal with the death of my child, but now I have to deal with the people raising money on his behalf of the killer. And it just, to me, it shows the lack of love. It shows the lack of compassion that mankind has for one another. They have taken this issue and turned it into a race war. Oh, because the black guy, because the boy is black and the other boy is white. Now they have turned it into this Black Lives Matter situation, this whole race against race situation. It has nothing to do with the race. The bottom line of this whole thing is that the black boy, Carmelo, killed the white boy, Metcalf. And so now we're going to see what happens to him after this. Right now, he's in jail and he has $1 million bond. Now, I don't know why the bond has not been paid, because I think you have to pay 1% of the bond. So I believe the bond is probably going to be at like $10,000 that they have to pay, right? And so, I believe they have the money to pay his bond. I don't know why they haven't paid the bond yet, because he does have one. However, it's just a sad story. I mean, on both sides, it's a sad story. Both of the young men, in my opinion, lost their life. Carmelo lost his life because he'll never be able to live a normal life after this, because even if he happens to get out of jail after he serves his time, he's going to have a felony on his record, and it's going to be for murder. Like, no one's going to really want to hire somebody that has that stain on their record. And then on the Metcalf side, his twin now has to live without him. He is gone on from this earth, and his family now has to live with that devastation. So nobody wins in this case over a senseless situation. But at the bottom line, I believe that if parents would raise their children in a way to handle conflict resolution better, we would not be here talking about this horrible situation. Okay, so that's the story. Like I said, the fundraiser they have going on has now reached 300,000. Child, it's sad because I'm thinking to myself, I can't even get freaking 1,000 subscribers. And I be putting out content and staying consistent. And this boy kills another child, and they up to 300,000. That's why I was like, this is insane, because black people sometimes get behind the wrong stuff. And I just be like, what the heck is... And if it don't apply to you, I ain't talking to you, right? Because some people, they want you to specify, say this or say that or different things, right? But I'm just saying, it's just wild to me that they even have a fundraiser for this young man, and they're acting like they don't care that this other family has lost their child. It's just wild to me. Anyway, y'all, that was my last topic. Just to recap all the topics that I did this morning. Thank you all for joining me. Go ahead and like this video. I know if y'all watching me and y'all like, Tasha, you normally come on in the evenings. I do. However, I have something else to do this evening, so I want to come on and do my hot topics for y'all. Okay, we talked about Onijah Robinson. She is back in the mix. Okay, remember she disappeared in Dubai and everybody was like, where the heck is Onijah? She's all of a sudden reappeared, okay? With a new attitude, a new look. She's saying that she is married when she isn't. We found out from her fiance that she has bipolar disorder, and that explains a whole lot from this situation. Okay, we also talked about DMX. His 4th year anniversary of his death was yesterday. Okay, so I'm hoping that DMX is resting in peace. We also talked about Zelensky, Vladimir Zelensky. All right, they caught 2 Chinese men. Okay, Ukraine. Fighting along Russia. So right now they're going back and forth with the fisticuffs, right? And so right now, Russia has the military backing from Iran, North Korea, and now China. I'm like, okay, so Ukraine need to maybe just say, all right, let's come to some type of peace deal. Because if you got all these other countries military backing you, I mean, I ain't saying you outnumbered, but I'm saying it. Say you're outnumbered without saying you're outnumbered, right? We also talked about the roof collapse in Dominican Republic. The death toll is up to 66 people. We are praying for those families that have to suffer the loss of their loved one. We also talked about Ricky Bell from Bell Biv DeVoe, that group back during the 90s. They were also a part of New Edition. Bell and his wife Amy are expecting their first child together. Congratulations to them. We talked about how Trump is still trying to find somebody, y'all, to take over the TikTok US brand. Now, pause. Okay, we talked about it, but I want to know this. Who is controlling TikTok right now then? If China has separated themselves from the US part of TikTok, who the heck is controlling TikTok right now? Who is pulling the strings? How is it still going or whatever? Or is it just the app is just floating out in app space and nobody has control of it? I don't know. That I didn't think about is weird to me. Y'all educate me. I'm not sure, but he says he extended it for another 75 days and his team is working on some type of deal or whatever. Okay. Moving on. We also talked about Russell Brand. Y'all know the actor that is from London. He is being brought up on multiple SA charges dating back to 1999. Always, I tell y'all, 2025 is the year of exposure. Everybody's getting it. So Russell Brand, you up next on the chopping block. I don't know if I believe it or not. He came out and denied that it is not true. However, we shall see what happens with him. Oh, one story that I left off, y'all. Maya Angelou, the poet and actress. Her birthday was last week. She would have turned 97 years old. Okay. Still I Rise. Did she write Still I Rise? She wrote Phenomenal Woman. I love that poem. Pretty women wonder where my secret lies. I'm not cute or built to fit a fashion model size. But when they start to child, that was my poem. I at least learned the first paragraph, okay? But when they start to ask me, I say they're telling lies. I say it's in the curve of my hips, the something, something, something. Y'all know the poem, okay? Phenomenal Woman. I loved that poem. That was one of my favorite Maya Angelou poems, okay? And lastly, we talked about Carmelo Anthony and Arthur Metcalf, that situation that had happened. We talked about specifically the fund that they have now raised for Carmelo Anthony. It has reached a whopping $300,000. Okay, they are on their way to trying to achieve $350,000 to help out him and his family. Now, I already told y'all how I feel about it. I'm guessing the money's gonna go to the lawyer or what have you, because he's gonna need a really good lawyer. I also think, y'all, that this case is not gonna go to trial, okay? Because if it goes to trial and a jury has to come in and listen to this case, there's too many things against Carmelo Anthony that they will possibly get him for first-degree murder, okay? And that is the outrage amongst the Black community. They're saying that they don't believe it should be first degree. They're trying to say they believe he should get manslaughter. However, he's charged right now for first degree, and he also has a bond of $1 million. And so, as far as I know, he's not out of jail yet. I don't know why his family hasn't paid the bond. Like I told y'all, they live in Frisco, Texas, which is an affluent, wealthy, hobnob area in Texas, okay? It's in the Dallas metro area. It's a suburb in the Dallas metro area. So, I don't know why they haven't paid it. Maybe the lawyer told them not to. I don't know. However, as this case unfolds, we shall find out more details about it. I believe that he should take a plea deal, and I think that his lawyer is going to tell him to take a plea deal, only because a plea deal will allow him not to get tried as in front of a jury. And it probably will give him less time. Instead of giving him life in jail, he might give 15 years is a long time. However, he will still get out in time. He'll still be young enough where he could possibly have some form of life. However, going in jail at 17 years old and coming out 15 years later, you'll never be the same. And then you have to worry about all the horrible things that could go on in jail that could possibly happen to this young man. It's just a horrible situation. And like I said before, we have to teach our children how to think before they act, because this whole thing could have been avoided on both sides. Okay. And that's my topics. That's what I had for the people this morning. morning. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and like this video up and subscribe to the channel. Now, some of y'all been out there watching me. Y'all been like this. Why would y'all subscribe? I get the analytics. So I know y'all watch it, okay? I know it, okay? I don't know. Why y'all watching me in the blinds and y'all haven't subscribed yet? Listen, we have a good, great time over here. I put out some really nice content, okay? We a lifestyle channel over here. We do a plethora of things to entice your entertainment, okay? So go ahead and click the like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And go ahead, live and replay watchers, put some chat in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about these topics. Which one resonated with you? What do you all think about the Carmelo Anthony case and the Metcalf case? Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. It is something that is blowing up all over social media. Everybody on TikTok is talking about it, child. So if you ain't heard of it, you can just go over on good old TikTok and keep scrolling and hear everybody's thoughts and opinions on it, okay? Some people I agree with, some people I disagree with, right? I did a TikTok video on it and I got called a coon. Oh my God, somebody called me a coon. And I'm thinking to myself, a coon? What are you, from 1910? That's the dig that you can give me, sir. We're in 2025. You calling me a coon? I can't believe you. Just because I had a difference of opinion from everybody else, right? However, I have very thick skin, so it don't bother me at all, okay? However, if you haven't heard about it, go look it up. It's a very sad story, okay? That does not end in anything. Nothing good has come out of this at all. It's a very sad story, okay? So I love y'all so much. I thank y'all for joining me this good old morning. I normally do these hot topics in the evening. I'm going to fix my thumbnail. I may fix my thumbnail. I don't know. I didn't put a thumbnail in because I just want to come on, get it out the way. I work overnight, and so I'm about to go lay it down. But I wanted to thank y'all for joining me. I normally don't come out in the daytime and do any videos like that, unless I'm going to do like a little chat, and sometimes I do that. However, if you did like this video and you made it this far, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I love y'all so much. I'm going to get up off of here. May y'all have a happy and blessed, amazing Thursday. It is Thankful Thursday, okay? Go ahead and also drop in the comments on this good old Thursday what you are thankful for. I'm thankful to be alive, and I am thankful that I have a roof over my head. I am thankful that I have food in the refrigerator. I am thankful that I can go get rest. I'm thankful for my job, and I'm thankful for this YouTube channel, this space, and all of my subscribers. Okay? I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all later.